Hello and welcome to another edition of the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show, and welcome to the 2021 high school football season. I'm the voice of the Patriots, Richard Todd, here once again with Athletic Director and Head Football Coach Steve LaPrade as the Fort Dorchester Patriots welcome the Carolina Forest Panthers to Bagwell Stadium. And before we get to the highlights, Steve, you had a game scheduled against Berkeley. Their whole program got shut down because of COVID. The COVID shuffle is kind of already underway. You're going to play Carolina Forest again in a couple of weeks at Carolina Forest. Just explain how this offseason has been, maybe compared to last year, and just how you're getting ready for a season with, once again, the uncertainty of COVID around.
Well, kind of, the COVID kind of somewhat died down in the summer months, and we kind of got back to normal conditions, with working out and doing some things. So everything was kind of rolling around pretty good, and we felt good and went into August. And then, oh my goodness, it seems like the last month, 3 weeks has just been a constant turmoil. I mean, it's tough. Everybody needs to know how hard it is on the kids and the coaching staffs. It's we're supposed to play Berkeley the opening game. They run a whole different offense called a flex bone, which is very assignment-oriented defense that you have to run against them. And, of course, we practiced it for a month and a half. And then on Tuesday they call me, and they've canceled, everything, B-team, JV, and varsity. So we're sitting here. We'd already lost our game 3, which was with Carolina Forest. Their region decided to play each other twice, so I lost that game, which I still don't have. So here I'm sitting there, oh my goodness, I don't have a game 1, I don't have a game 3. Kids been practicing all summer, So I called Carolina Forest up on Tuesday. Like I said, Berkeley called me about 1:30, called him up about 2 o'clock on Tuesday. And he kind of had a couple other schools from North Carolina that he was going to play. So all I can do is appreciate Coach Morris at Carolina Forest. He came through and signed up with us to play this game. We both lost some kids. This contact tracing
right,
is just it's just so difficult for the school districts. It's so many. So if you're in my algebra class and you're sitting 2 rows over from me and you test positive, all of a sudden they take a big circle and circle all the people that are around them. And so as coaches, we have no idea who we're going to have. I lost 4 kids on Thursday. I lost another 2 today. I'm sure Carolina Forest had the same problems. It's just our JV was getting ready to leave last night, and they were taking kids off as they were getting on the bus.
I saw you on a local TV station saying that you're telling your players to appreciate what you got right now because you really don't know what's going to happen next. It was great to have the Dorchester County Showdown and get that in, and it was great to have Carolina Forest step up and fill in for Berkeley. And so we go to the game and we look at the action, and right off the bat, first play from scrimmage, fumble for Carolina Forest. Xavier Sanders with the recovery, and it wouldn't take long before Zoltan Osborne had a 12-yard touchdown pass to Demetrius McKelvey to go up 7-0.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want to start. We really wanted the ball, and they wanted to toss and decided to take the ball. And, that the running back they have, number 2, he's just a stud. And we kind of lit him up, and he put the ball on the ground, which was very unusual for him. And, we took advantage. That's what you got to do. So I was obviously extremely happy with that. Defense goes in, does what it's supposed to do, and boom.
That's a great way to start out. And you had another Zoltan Osborne pass to Davion Joyner, a 46-yarder that was a beauty, that set up a 1-yard touchdown run from DJ Gaddis. All right, let's talk about this. You got the heavyweight backfield there, and you've got a defensive lineman with a 1-yard touchdown run. Is this a new heavy package for the Fort?
It is. We have DJ, and then we have, I call him Devin Gaddis, and then we have DJ Watson. He's another defensive lineman. They're both about 260 to 285, 290, and run very, very well. They both run in the 4.9s, 4.8s, so they're a load now. It hurts when you hit them. So
that's going to be an effective weapon.
Hopefully, we're expecting it, to be a good thing for us this year.
Now, you had a couple of other things that popped up in the first quarter as well, as the Patriots were up 14-0. You had a face mask and offsides that gave Carolina Forest a first down. You had a pass interference and a personal foul. That's all just in the first quarter. That problem showed up at the Dorchester County Showdown, and it's been an issue for the Patriots over the years. No, it's game one, but how do you stop that from getting worse or chronic or habitual as it can be?
We play very physical, fast brand of football, but you're exactly right. I mean, we would, I think, probably out of the 3 or 4 times they scored tonight, we would at least cut that in half.
Yes.
One for penalties. We were off the field numerous times, and we've got to stop that. Obviously we're playing a really another high octane offense next week, and another great football team, which is good for us. That's what we want to do, play good competition, but we can't continue to do this. We got to clean it up.
Well, the Patriots are up 14-0 right there at the end of the first quarter. A 37-yard pass completion for Carolina Forest that ended the quarter and set them up to start the second quarter, and we'll get to that as the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show continues next.
Okay, before we even start the show, I'd like to give a little shout out. Our kicking coach, Neil Veloso, had a heart attack today. He's in NBSC. We really missed him tonight. Neil, you do a great job. I hope you feel better. Whole team's behind you. We played a little harder for you tonight, so hope everything goes good for you and your family. I talked to your wife, and I'm getting ready to call her here in a little bit. Get well, buddy, and we're waiting for you. Come on back.
Hey girl, what's your name?
Tammy.
You come here often?
Every 3,000 miles.
Can I buy you a can of oil?
Well, with a grill like that, you can buy me whatever you want.
I like it. Want to get out of here and go burn some rubber?
Import Service Center is a full-service maintenance and auto repair facility for the best vehicle services at affordable prices. Come by Import Service Center right in the heart of North Charleston and Somerville.
Welcome back to the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show. The Patriots have a 14-0 lead after the first quarter of the home opener against the Carolina Forest Panthers, and we get to the highlights in the second quarter. And, Coach, we mentioned that last play at the end of the first quarter, Carolina Forest converts on a third down with a 37-yard pass. That gives them a 9-yard touchdown pass to start the second quarter on a broken coverage. Guy was wide open in the end zone. They missed the PAT, but make it 14-6.
Yep. Yeah, it wasn't what we wanted to see on defense, but we got some work to do on both sides of the ball. But obviously, we got some stuff we got to get straight on defense.
Well, let's talk about Zoltan Osborne here for a second. I mean, this is his team now this year as a junior quarterback. He had a great game, 18 for 24, 330 yards, 3 touchdowns. Davion Joyner, one of his favorite targets. You also had Demetrius McKelvey. I mean, you've got some really good wideouts this year for him to throw to.
Yeah, well, see, people don't understand. Davion Joyner was our horse last year, and he got hurt early in the season, and he never got well. So it's good to see him. He's a heck of a player now. He's a heck of a player. He's got that right last name.
He's got that name. We know that name in Fort Dorchester lore.
And the Marion Green is a Joyner too. Yes, so I got the bloodline going.
And I mentioned those two, but we can also mention Trey Ryan, who's a great returner on the punt game, also a receiver as well, another weapon for the Fort.
We got a bunch. We got about six, 7 guys out there, wide receiver, can play. And that helps. Zoltan also can throw it, but those guys make him look good too. And those guys up front now, they taking care of him. We broke down, I think, a couple times, but those guys, you know, we got a good group up front.
One thing we noticed in the second quarter was on a specific play where Zoltan gets sacked, takes the sack instead of throwing it away. Noticed in the second half, he was throwing it away.
Yep.
So that was probably something that you guys talked about. And this is, once again, game one.
Somebody told me at halftime he was 14 for 15 first half. You know, and really the one incomplete pass was probably the one that was the most wide open. It was kind of ironic, but yeah, he had a good night. But he deserves it. You know, we got beat last year, and we had our little meeting in my office, and I said, okay, I said, you're too fragile and you're too slow. I said the pocket passers in football are gone. There are no more pocket passers on any level, high school, college, or pros anymore. You got to be able to move. He worked every single day, every day, and he's a whole lot faster, and he's put on about 25 pounds of muscle.
Well, we could see it tonight. I mean, he had that 41-yard pass play to Trey Ryan. Michael Smalls punched one in. Zion Reynolds with the touchdown. He had 4 running touchdowns today, and all of a sudden it was 28-6 Patriots there in the second quarter.
Yeah, Zion's a load too. You know, he's about 225, 230, and he runs well. And of course, you know, Michael Smalls is our horse, and you know, Jake Jenkins comes in there. So we got some weapons, which is good. We can, you know, I thought Marion Mitchell, he didn't get any balls the first half, and he came through and made some unbelievable. I think he showed his athleticism in the second half. I think he turned some heads. He's a mess now. He's a player. He's a player.
Patriots were up 28-6, headed towards halftime. A face mask penalty, an unsportsmanlike conduct kept the drive alive, and they were able to get a 2-yard run right before halftime and be 28-13 at the half.
Yeah, and we told our guys, you know, at halftime we met, and, you know, this team, Coach Morris does probably as good a job, if not the best job, in the state of South Carolina coaching. He's a preparation guy. He does a great job. They got a great program. And I told our guys, I said, guys, you go out there and we don't score first time, second half, I said, we're going to be in a ball game. I said, if you think for 1 second those guys at Carolina Forest are going to let down, they're not. And I knew they wouldn't. So we had that talk at halftime, you know, and it worked.
Sometimes that late touchdown lets you refocus the team there at halftime.
Yeah,
and
it does.
And we'll let you know if they did score on that first possession of the third quarter. 28-13 Patriots at halftime in the home opener against the Carolina Forest Panthers. And we'll continue with this edition of the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show next.
All right, the offensive player of the game, we had a lot of good offensive players tonight, including the entire offensive line that did a great job. But it'd be hard not to pick Zoltan Osborne. Zoltan was 18 for 24, 330 yards, 3 touchdowns, made some great decisions tonight, made some good plays, ran the ball very well, threw the ball very well, ran the offense. He had a really, really, really good night. So Zoltan has worked very, very hard in the offseason. I hope he continues to have a good year. He's a junior for us, number 15. So Zoltan Osborne, you're my offensive player of the week against Carolina Forest.
What sets Carolina Climate Control apart from other companies is each employee goes through a thorough screening process so we can ensure that we are sending qualified people to your home. Preventive maintenance is key, which is why we recommend 2 service visits per year. This ensures the lifespan of your equipment and also the comfort control. That's why we always take time to listen to our customers and answer them in great detail.
No matter what the climate, we control the comfort. Call Carolina Climate Control.
Hey, Bill Yarbrough here, Import Service Center, brake lights, and how do I check them by myself? So one of the easiest ways to check your brake lights by yourself is to apply the brakes before you open your garage door or back up against something. One of the easiest ways we find is if you find a storefront that you can park in front of. If you back in, you can look against the plate glass windows and see the reflection of the car. Probably there's no substitute for having one of your friends or neighbors come out and look at your brake lights when you press them.
Welcome back to the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show. Patriots lead 28-13 at halftime. It's the season opener at home against the Carolina Forest Panthers that weren't originally the scheduled team. It was Berkeley. Berkeley out with COVID. Got the Panthers to come here for a game tonight, and it was great to see a big crowd at Bagwell Stadium. And Coach, you just mentioned it about starting out that third quarter strong to make sure that you keep Carolina Forest down. And sure enough, Zoltan Osborne, 31-yard touchdown pass to number 4, Michael Smalls, to go up 35-13.
Yeah, that was good. That's kind of what we wanted to do, and that's, as a coach, that's a good part of coaching when they listen to you. So I was proud of them. This is a really close team.
That matters too, doesn't it?
It matters. Chemistry is huge. It is huge. No, I've had some really talented teams that just didn't have a good chemistry, and this group, they like each other. They play hard together. We got a long ways to go to be a championship squad, but we got, if we'll buckle down and work hard, I think we can have a pretty good team this year.
After giving up 13 points in the first half, they only gave up one touchdown there in the second half. And we've been talking about a lot of the offensive names for the Patriots. Let's talk about defense there for a second.
Oh, yeah.
And one name that I kept calling out a lot tonight was DJ Gaddis, but he's one of many there. The cornerbacks were busy as well. The linebackers, the defense was doing good. I know you probably want to work on some tackling and try to get them off the field quicker on some third down conversions, but still you had to be kind of happy about that.
Well, they got to get off the field. We had numerous opportunities that we could have got off the field, and those big old guys, they get tired, and they started there toward the end of the game. We were cramping up a little bit and this and that, and you don't want the safeties making all the tackles. We got to do a better job, and I'm sure our defense staff and our defensive players will work a little harder. We'll watch film, get a little bit better, but we got some work to do, on all three levels. I was extremely happy with the kicking game. We used 3 different kickers tonight.
You got 2 juniors and then the senior Chase Kennedy.
Jake Smith, he's never played before. It's first year out. I think he's really enjoyed himself. He's a goalie in soccer, so we got him. We didn't punt all night, so I used all 3 of them on extra points and all 3 of them on kickoffs. So
and I know how much you love to pin them on the touchback too on kickoffs.
I do. We didn't. I think we only got 1 in the end zone, so we got to do a little better with that. Those guys got strong enough legs to get it in the end zone, so got to do a little bit better with that on the kickoff. I thought we covered well, which was good. Like I said, we didn't have to punt. I thought we did a good job. They really didn't kick it to us on the kickoff return too much, but we got good field position, I think, on all the kickoff returns, and gave the offense the ball in good situation. So overall, I was happy with our transition, getting on and off the field. First game, that's tough. It is. I was happy. I thought between the box, the communication, and the signal and everything, I thought it went pretty good.
Well, you had Carolina Forest get a 3-yard touchdown pass, but the extra point was tipped and blocked to make it 35-19. Then Zoltan with a 31-yard touchdown pass to Trey Ryan. Another beautiful play to make it 42-19. And then a safety was really the center's fault for Carolina Forest to make it 44-19. Zoltan with another pass, this time, as you mentioned before, Marion Mitchell. We were naming a lot of names: Trey Ryan, Michael Smalls, Marion Mitchell, Zion Reynolds, much less McKelvey and Joyner and wideouts. That's a lot of different firepower there for the Fort.
That was the first thing Coach Moore said, after the game was, your offense coordinator called an unbelievable game. It's tough to defend when you have so many weapons, and the ball was all over the place. We ran the ball well. We did the short stuff, we did the long stuff. We mixed it up. I was happy with play calling, and I was happy with with our players. I thought they did a good job. We dropped a couple passes I can remember, which we normally don't do. I don't think we had any turnovers.
We did not.
That's a huge thing for me. I can't stand to fumble the football. So good job running backs and quarterback for protecting the ball, and wide receivers on the catches. We didn't put the ball on the ground.
Over the years, the short field and winning the turnover, the takeaway giveaway game has been huge for the Patriots. Zion Reynolds with his third touchdown out of 4 for the game with a 1-yard touchdown run at the end of the third quarter. 51-19 Patriots heading into the fourth quarter. We're going to talk about the fourth quarter and the upcoming game against Dorman and the schedule for the Patriots this year, where COVID is running rampant. But we're going to be here at Bagwell Stadium. We hope you join us, and we've got the fourth quarter of that Fort Dorchester Carolina Forest game coming up as the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show continues next.
The defensive player of the week against Carolina Forest was Devin Gaddis. Devin Gaddis is senior, number 93, plays defensive end for us. He's one of our defensive linemen. We got a really talented defensive front. Devin had numerous plays. He's a very fast, physical, great football player, high school football player. I don't know what we do without him. He does a fantastic job. I think you'll see 93 on a whole lot of tackles this year. So, Devin, you are my defensive player of the game against Carolina Forest.
Bill Yarbrough here with Import Service Center. Tip of the day, tire pressure. Probably the most convenient place to access the tire pressure information is inside on the driver's door jamb. As you open the door, look at either the back of the door or on the jamb. Sometimes they're located in the glove compartment, and if that fails, go to your owner's manual. Probably the easiest thing I've found is looking in the index under tire pressures, and then you'll be able to find a page with the appropriate pressures.
Hey girl, what's your name?
Tammy.
You come here often?
Every 3,000 miles.
Can I buy you a can of oil?
Well, with a grill like that, you can buy me whatever you want.
I like it. Want to get out of here and go burn some rubber?
Import Service Center is a full-service maintenance and auto repair facility. For the best vehicle services at affordable prices, come by Import Service Center right in the heart of North Charleston and Somerville.
All right, our Coach of the Week, once again, wow. It's really hard to pick somebody off my staff. They all work so hard and do such a great job. But I really think the play calling tonight was probably one of the best jobs of play calling in quite some time. I hope he continues to keep it up. But Brent LaPrade, our offensive coordinator and quarterback coach, had a great night tonight. I thought he called a very, very good game, kept their defense off balance all night long. They had no idea what we were doing or where we were going with the ball. So hopefully he can continue to do that, and hope the offense continues to get better under his leadership. So Brent LaPrade, you're my Coach of the Week against Carolina Forest.
Did it to myself, I have no explanation. Twisted games and tricks, all tangled up and wasted. Double down in the bus, sucked into faking patience. Haunted dreams awake, still love to be so hated. I did it to myself.
Welcome back to the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show. The Patriots lead the Panthers 51-19 as Fort Dorchester hosts Carolina Forest in the season opener at Bagwell Stadium to kick off the 2021 season. And Coach, you have a 32-point lead starting out the fourth quarter, and let's just say there was a lot of talk amongst fans and others about the running game. And there's not necessarily, I mean, I want to say Michael Smalls might be your key one, even though Zion had 4 touchdowns tonight. But when you have a 32-point lead, you're thinking, hand the ball off. And sometimes it seemed like the best running play was a short out to a wide receiver or a screen pass to a running back.
But, offensive has changed so much. Instead of running the old sweep, what we're used to, everybody just throws it out there now. So, the counts a pass, but you're exactly right with that. Sometimes it's easier. If you got a guy, and we're lucky, our guy's accurate. He puts the ball on the money most of the time. So, and we got the weapons, and we're just using them.
Yeah, and you mentioned the mix of plays that was for the offensive calling tonight with the shovel pass, reverses, all kinds of things, and seeing them work. Carolina Forest was able to get an 8-yard touchdown run in the fourth quarter to make it 51-26. And as the game goes on, is there ever any consideration of taking Zoltan out to preserve him in case of injury just because of the backup situation and just trying to keep him healthy for the whole year, as he is stronger and faster now, but with the lead that big in the fourth quarter?
Well, we got a little 10th grade quarterback, and he was out tonight.
Who would be your backup tonight?
And Demetrius McKelvey.
Okay, that's what we figured. We saw him at the Dorchester County Showdown. Yep.
He does a good job. Davion Joyner does a good job. Then we got Jaden Coffey's a 10th grader, does a good job, and he was out tonight. So, toward the end, I'm sure you saw, I told Zoltan, do not pull it, do not throw it, hand it off. So, we got a lot of guys in. We got our whole second OL in, and played a lot of guys on defense, and so, all these guys work hard. They all want to play, and I tell them that. If you show us you can play, we're gonna put you in. We're gonna play a bunch of people. So. We did, and I was happy with them.
Great to get the reserves in there in the fourth quarter, and they were in when Zion Reynolds scored his 4th touchdown of the game, a 12-yard run to give us the final score of 58-26. I know, Coach, you got to be happy to get that first game in with all the COVID issues and stuff. A lot of people have noticed this year that the Patriots have made a point of stepping up the schedule with stiffer competition, really getting you ready for the postseason. And a perfect example of that is next week when Dorman, one of the perennial favorites in the state, comes to Bagwell Stadium in what ought to be a great early season matchup.
Well, I kind of felt it last year, and I think you've probably seen it over the years. We take winning for granted so much here now. I think our fans do. Sometimes I don't think they enjoy. We don't. I can remember, last year we win by 30, 40, 50 points. We go in, everybody hang their stuff up and go home. Going to coach's office is like, you did your job, did what you're supposed to do. Coach, see you Sunday. We'll get ready to go for the next one. So we slowed things down. We're trying to enjoy life and enjoy winning. And I thought about it in the off season. We don't enjoy winning enough. Just like we have little things we do. We don't do anything to make fun of who we're playing or anything else. But just like on Monday, we came out and we were all in hunting gear. We all had our orange hats and our vests on because we were playing the Stags. Nothing against Berkeley at all. We were having some fun. And the kids got excited. We had a plaque with deer antlers on it. We were ready, man. We had every day our coach staff was doing something. So obviously we had to change. We went from the deer to the Panthers, and we weren't really ready to hunt Panthers yet. So we kind of stopped that, but we got in the locker room today and we had some fun. Well,
that's a little insight into the coaching strategies there of Steve LaPrade with having some fun and enjoying winning. And of course, you really love to win in November more than any other month. And I look at it the way the schedule is now, a lot like a team, say Duke in basketball, where they stack their schedule early to get them ready for the postseason.
And that's what we're doing. We could have. We don't have a whole lot of people. I tell people all the time, if we were half as good as everybody thought we were, I would sleep really good at night. But we don't have a whole lot of people that we can play in the state of South Carolina. We don't. There's about 8 or 10 schools that are willing to play us, and so just like week 3 right now, we have an opening. Have I put it out there? Yes. Have I got any calls? No.
But you might after that now, so.
I don't know. I hope so. But I told our guys, I said, listen, now we're going, if I can play, if we're down 10, 12, 15 guys, You know, if I got enough offensive line to play, I'm going to play. That's like Carolina Forest tonight. They were out. They had some guys out. But Coach Morris is that kind of guy. He wants his kids to understand you got to get your seconds in there, and two things occur. And we talked about before the game. You either see that you're going to have a good player before long, or you know why he's not in there. Okay? So those are all good things. So that's, you know, we're trying to play good teams, and obviously we got the first two games are really good. Third game, and like I said, I told our guys if we can play, we're going to play. If we got enough money, if we have to go to Florida, we have to go to North Carolina, whatever, we're going to take off the district. We're going to play. We're going to play somebody. So I've already got fillers out in Georgia and fillers out in North Carolina. You know, I might be crazy. I don't know. Playing Carolina Forest, Dorman, and then God only knows who's going to call me for game 3. But, you know, that's kind of what I want to do.
Well, you know what? Stay tuned, because with COVID, who knows what this season is
right.
going to be like. But we can tell you that the biggest game in the state of South Carolina on Friday, September the 3rd, is going to be at Bagwell Stadium when the Fort Dorchester Patriots host Dorman. And we hope you come out there. Kickoff is at 7:30, and we'll have more here on the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show coming up next.